Hi, grade 10. So this is the third little video, but this time it's going to be on how mitosis plays a role in the life of animals like humans. So the reason why I'm making short videos like this is because now with the grade 12s coming back, the timetable has changed. So we've got half an hour slots. So sometimes you might have two of those half an hour lessons on one day or one. So I'm trying to make lessons long enough for just half an hour, and you might therefore have to do two lessons on one day. So just please follow Google Classroom very closely. Okay, so let's look at how mitosis plays a role in the life of animals. Okay, so look over here. Let's open this up. All right, so where mitosis occurs in animals. So we began as a little embryo. So remember the single cell called the zygote, which was formed by the fusion of the sperm and the egg. That zygote is diploid, and then it divides to form more cells by mitosis. So zygote becomes 2, those 2 divide, you get 4, 4 becomes 8, etc. So that's a little embryo. That's what you look like right at the beginning, where the cells are undifferentiated and they haven't become specialized. But then, as the embryo grows, it starts becoming a fetus, where the cells have now, they've developed to form the different tissues and organs like the eye and the arms and the legs, and you can see the vertebral column over there, and the skin and the brain. All right, so differentiation of those initially similar cells has occurred to produce the different parts of the fetus. So that's one way in which mitosis helps with the growth of animals like humans. Now, this diagram in the middle here, that is a long bone, like the bone in your thigh, the biggest bone in our body, the biggest long bone, and it's called the femur. Okay, so you can see here that they've cut away the bone, they've cut it longitudinally, and the head regions of the bone, there and there. Now, the head regions of the bone, that's where blood cells are made by mitosis. We could color this in red as well, all right? So that tissue there, that bony tissue, where there's lots of spaces where the blood cells are made, that is known as spongy red bone marrow. And that's where mitosis occurs to produce new red and new white blood cells. And the red blood cells, they can then pass out of the blood vessels and into your blood. So the bones are where blood tissue is made, and then they leave, those blood cells leave and go into your blood. And red blood cells only last for 3 months, and they're broken down in the liver and the spleen, but new red blood cells are always made in the red bone marrow, or the spongy red bone marrow. All right, either that side or that side. So if we look here, there's another way in which mitosis helps. So these regions here, these lines are known as the epiphyseal or growth plates. So mitosis occurs along those regions to make the bone grow longer. So if I use my water bottle here, that there would be the epiphyseal plate to make more cells so that the bone can grow longer as you get taller. So if you fall off a jungle gym, and they need to check your bones very carefully. They need to do an x-ray to see if one of those epiphyseal or growth plates has been damaged. Because if it has been damaged, it might mean, if it's one of the long bones in your arm, that bone doesn't grow longer anymore, and therefore this arm ends up being shorter than the other one. So they've got to check that the epiphyseal plate has not been damaged when you fall. The epiphyseal plate, it's where cells undergo mitosis to make the bone grow longer as you're growing taller. All right, the fat in the middle here, that's called the marrow. That's in the middle of the long bone. So some of you might, when you make soup in winter, then you have those little round bones. Okay, so inside that would be the marrow, and that's where fat and white blood cells are stored, and then the white blood cells can go into the blood to help fight infection. Okay, that's just for interest now. And then the last example that I've given you here is how mitosis helps to rejuvenate your skin. So we're always losing skin cells. When we put clothes on, when you rub against things, skin cells form dust. This is what they look like on the surface of your skin using a scanning electron microscope. But in our skin, we've got 2 layers, the epidermis and the dermis. So you can see here, there's a dark wavy line. So anything above that is the epidermis, and here it is. It's been magnified. So there, that darker pink line, that's where these are basal cells, and those cells undergo mitosis to produce more cells to replace these cells on the outside, which are continuously lost. Now, they are flattened and they are waterproof because they've got lots of the protein called keratin inside them. Just like the keratin in our hair, it forms that waterproof outer layer. So as the cells move through the dermis, so you can see how they become flattened at the top and full of keratin. They are now dead cells protecting you from the external elements. But that's where mitosis occurs, in that layer over there. And then just for interest, we've also got the dermis. That's where your hair follicles are found, where little oil glands, they're called sebaceous glands. If they get clogged up, then they become pimples. There would be nerve cells in there, allowing you to feel pain and pressure and hot and cold. And then right below, underneath here, that would be the fat layer, the fat layer that provides insulation. All right, so we're just looking at how mitosis plays a role to produce new skin cells to replace the ones that you continuously lose. Now, you can watch the video from the previous lesson on how mitosis plays a role in plants again, and you can watch this video and you are going to answer these questions. So this will form your notes because there's not enough on page 53 of your textbook. So you need to use what I've said in these two videos on plant mitosis and animal mitosis to answer these questions to make your own notes.